I think it was a balanced game because I think Botswana, they played well in the first half. They didn't give us a chance to play our normal game. But second half, I thought we improved a bit. We created a lot of chances. I only think that maybe what let us down was not being able to utilize the chances that we got. But otherwise, I think it was a good game. It was a balanced game because first half we had a lot of troubles. We in fact didn't even maybe create a clear-cut scoring chance, but through the luck, we got an on goal, and we made a mistake. They also equalized, but second half I thought the boys came up a better team, and you could see the hunger. And it was going to be disappointing if we had drawn this match because the effort that they put in today, I thought they were excellent.
First game, I think we were unlucky. As the Eswatini coach says, I think the game was well balanced. Both teams attacked each other end to end. We had the better first half, they had the better second half. I think like he says, we got an own goal. That was our own goal. And then in the middle, the second goal that they got, there was hesitation with one of my middle fielders that we lost the game, and we accounted from that loss and they got a goal. I think overall you could see that the boys are of balanced age in terms of the correct ages of the boys playing. Entertaining game for the crowd. I think a very good opening game for the tournament. I think it's going to be, if other teams can play at this standard, it will be a very exciting tournament. We have lost. It's not the end of the world, but it's not the end of the world, like I say, but it's also not the end of the tournament. We've still got 2 games to go. We will fight and fight like hell to try and get out of the group. I think that is going to be the most important thing. The results from the other games will determine what we have to do. We obviously know that we have to win the next game, because then it will mean that we've got 3 games, and hopefully if Eswatini loses their next game, we win our next game, then the mix is mixed again. So at this stage, I think well done to the Eswatini for the result that they got. But I think the best result should have been a 1-1 for this game. That is what I think, despite the fact that they really gave us a hard time on their left side. We couldn't really deal with the diagonal passes. But they didn't score from there until that mistake in the second half late. Yes, I think we had a short discussion about it, and you've got to take the positives, even though we've lost, to say that the game was very exciting. If, like I said earlier, if the other teams can play the way we played, I think it's going to be a great tournament. We've gone end to end. The boys have fought very hard. You can see the determination of both sides to want to do well in the tournament. And I think, like you say, at the end of the day, you can tell that these boys are still young. They still make, the schoolboy mistakes. But overall, you can see that 2-3 years down the line, these boys will be representing their countries very well.
The game was at its best today. I think also the weather contributed, because I think with a little bit of cold, the energy levels, they don't go down. So I thought it was a good performance, and it was a good game for the spectators who were watching. But this is a work in progress, because we've worked very hard. The 2019 majority of these boys were in Malawi, COSAFA. So they graduated today. They are in the under 20, and the guys in 2020 went to Port Elizabeth, and we have one who graduated last year when we were in Lesotho. So a majority of the boys and were in the under 17. So now when we move on to the under 20, we are dealing with players that at least we know, and although they are new players, but in terms of performance, I was happy. In terms of the standard, I thought it was a game to watch for everyone, and anyone who was watching, I'm sure you enjoy it. But as a coach, you always driving the results, and you're hoping your players that they will bring it home. We were lucky today. I'd say that because it was going to be frustrating if we had drawn this one, going to play Zambia, our next match. But the win, it is a booster, and it brings more confidence, even those who were a little bit low today. I'm sure when we go to play Zambia, the moral will be up there, and we hope for the best as we move forward. Okay, like I said, it was a balanced game because Botswana didn't give us a chance to play our normal game. Even in the second half, that was not our normal game because we opted that at least now let's try and attack more, which was not how we usually play. But it helped us because I thought we felt the pressure, and we said no, let's try and put more power, because we could see that they can't deal with the left side and they can't deal with the right side. So at least let's add someone to bolster in the midfield, so that when we attack in all directions. I thought that helped us very well today.
Coach, at some point there was a bit of frustration from the fans. I don't know if you heard that or saw that. Did it bother you? Did it make you change your tactics?
No, it didn't bother me because they don't know the players. So I'm not bothered by the fans. They don't know the players. Because if you say I'm a substitute, who should I bring in? Who should I bring in? They don't know the players. It's just the frustration. But it's not good for young boys. Maybe for the big boys it's okay, but for young boys it's not okay, because you are killing the spirit of the boy, and you are saying you are not good enough to play. Here we've tried to bring players from all over the country. So these are the best that we had. And the reason that football has not been played, so we could only pick from the leagues that we're playing, which is Super League and First Division. So now others are saying we should have brought in who and who, but it's the situation we find ourselves in. And I thought the boys played very well. It's frustrating when they call for a change, yet the team is attacking. It's just that they can't score. And I hope as we move forward they will understand that, because it brings a lot of pressure to the boys, yet we still want them to perform. And how do you perform when you are under pressure? We need to give them time and give them the benefit of the doubt that they will bring the results home like they did today.
I guess if you look at this, I think the last two tournaments under 20s, we've started like this, where we lost the first game, and then we go on to win and draw, or draw and win, depending on which tournament you're looking at. But of course, when you start a tournament like this, where you're playing 3 games and you start with a loss, the pressure is there. The expectation, the preparations are that you look at it positively, go into the game and say, I'll get a result. I feel, like you're saying, that the mistakes were very, very costly. We didn't lose because they outplayed us or we outplayed them, no. The first goal, clear own goal. Then we equalized. The guy who scored the own goal went and scored the corner, which, we say he recovered. Then when the game is dead, almost buried, we make that very costly mistake. And the sad thing about the mistake, there were 3 guys, my guys, around the ball, and they lost the ball. And just from that, out to the right, to the Eswatini right, into the middle. And the guy, I think he also was lucky because he didn't really hit it clear. It went past the goalkeeper, it was a goal. For the nation of Eswatini, good result. You could hear the reaction from the stands when they scored. My boys dropped their heads, but we know we've got to play football. But this is what youth football is about. It's about making the mistakes. And when you get to the national teams, the senior national teams, you know how to deal with this. It might be costly for us, which it is, of course, but I look at it and say, look, I've got to lift the boys' spirits and get them for the next game. We have got to do our job as coaches. It doesn't matter which country, to teach these boys that the mistakes will be costly, but they are learning period for them, irrespective regardless of the age group. It can be under 17, the under 20s, because ultimately we are saying the big prize is the senior team. So for all of us coaches, it's going to be tough. We've got to lift, but at the end of the day, it's a learning curve for the boys. Costly, difficult learning curve, but it's a learning curve all the same.